Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Asia Pacific 2021-2022 Vrc New Season webinar. For this session, I will share the Vrc Robotics competition new game, Tipping Point. First, I would like to introduce how Vrc Game is played. The Vrc game includes in-person tournament and a skills challenge, and live remote tournament, which is Rrt in short. For in-person tournament, it will include qualifying and elimination matches. The match time is 2 minutes. There are 2 alliances, one red and one blue, composed of 2 teams each, compete to each other. Robot Skills Challenge is just 1 team and the match time is 60 seconds. These matches consist of driving skills match, which will be entirely driver controlled, and programming skills matches, which will be autonomous. Rrt is played by 2 teams, one red and one blue. Team connect to the robotevent.com Rrt interface, compete at their own location on a separate field. The Vrc game is played on a 12 feet by 12 feet field as shown in the picture. Normally, the field will not change every season, just game element need to update as per the new game. The tournament has following key point. 2 alliances compete in each match, and 2 teams in each alliance. For each match, there are 3 drivers for a team, and 1 robot for each team. The match time is 2 minutes, which contain a 50-second autonomous period and 105-second driver control period. Team will be randomly assigned an alliance partner to compete against 2 randomly assigned opponents in each qualifying match. Team will be ranked based on the same number of qualifying matches, and the process is qualifying match first. Then the higher ranking team will select their fixed alliance partner for elimination matches. Then elimination matches will be played according to the elimination bracket. The qualifying match schedule will be available prior to opening ceremony on the day of competition. This schedule will indicate alliance partners and match pairings. It will also indicate the alliance's color, red or blue. For tournament with multiple fields, the schedule will also indicate which field the match will take place on. For each qualification match, teams in the same alliance will receive the same point, except disqualification, which is DQ in short. All teams in each qualifying match will receive win point, WP, autonomous point, AP, and strength of schedule point, SP. All team rankings are determined by the same number of qualification matches. WP is the first basis of ranking teams. Teams will receive from 0 to 3 WP for each qualification match. AP is the second basis of ranking teams. An alliance who wins the autonomous bonus during a qualification match earns 6 AP. In the event of a tie, both alliances will receive 3 AP. SP is the third basis of ranking teams. SP are equivalent to the score of the losing alliance in a qualification match. In the event of a tie, both alliances receive SP equal to the tie score. Before elimination match, there is an alliance selection process for the higher ranking teams at the end of qualification matches to choose their permanent alliances for the elimination matches. After the alliance selection is finished, the elimination matches will be played according to elimination bracket as shown here. The number of alliances in an elimination bracket is decided by the event partners as per the event capacity and the schedule. Elimination matches are a blend of best of 1 and best of 3, depends on division setting and world spot allocation. Let's take a 1-division tournament that directly qualifying teams to Vrc World, for example. Elimination matches before the final are best of 1. In the final matches are best of 3. Okay, Robot Skills Challenge is another way to play the Vrc game, which has following key point. 1 team in each match, 3 drivers, and 1 robot for each team, 60-second match time, including driving skills match and programming skills match. It is optional for an event, and it's first come, first served, no match schedule. Teams will be ranked based on the sum of their highest programming skills match score and highest driving skills match score. Rrt is the remote competition for Vrc game. Last season's remote Wexworld for Vrc is played by 2 vs 2 format. Start from this season, the format is changed to 1 vs 1. There are 2 robots, 2 teams, 1 red and 1 blue, and 2 fields in each match. And more important, teams need to connect to the Rrt interface to compete. Okay, now we know how Vrc game is played. Let's see the game on video for the new season.
Welcome to the world's greatest 2 minutes in robotics, the 2021-2022 game, Vrc Robotics competition, Tipping Point. Tipping Point is played on a 12-foot by 12-foot field by 2 alliances, 1 red and 1 blue, made up of 2 teams each. The object of the game is to get more points than the other alliance by scoring rings, moving mobile goals to alliance zones, and by elevating on platforms at the end of the match. The Vrc Tipping Point field consists of 72 rings and 7 mobile goals. Each alliance has 2 alliance mobile goals, with the remaining 3 goals being neutral. Each alliance also has a platform located in their home zone. Rings are 4.125 inches in diameter. Each robot starts the match with up to 3 rings as a preload. Rings scored in the base of a mobile goal are worth 1 point each. Rings that are scored on an alliance mobile goal or on the lower branch of a neutral mobile goal are worth 3 points each. Rings that are scored on the high branch of a neutral mobile goal are worth 10 points each. Rings that are scored on an alliance mobile goal will count for the respective alliance regardless of where it ends the match. However, rings that are scored on neutral mobile goals will only count for an alliance if the mobile goal ends the match in their home zone. Each mobile goal scored in an alliance's home zone is worth 20 points, plus the points for any rings scored on that mobile goal. As the match draws to a close, robots will start heading back towards their alliance platforms. Each robot that ends the match elevated on a balanced alliance platform is worth 30 points for that alliance. And any mobile goals that are elevated on a balanced platform are worth 40 points. Each match begins with a 15-second autonomous period, where robots can score rings or race to the center of the field to snatch an early advantage in possessing mobile goals. The alliance that scores more points in the autonomous period is awarded with a 20-point bonus added to the final score at the end of the match. Each alliance also has the opportunity to earn an additional win point in the autonomous period by scoring at least 1 ring on each of their alliance's mobile goals and clearing their autonomous win point line. The 1-minute, 45-second driver control period begins once the autonomous bonus winner has been determined. At the end of the driver control period, after all scoring objects and robots have come to rest, the match will be scored to determine the winning alliance. Remember, Vrc games are not scored until the driver control period has ended. Vrc Tipping Point can also be played in skills challenges, where one team competes against the clock, remote skills and live remote tournaments, where teams compete from their own homes, the collegiate level VexU competition, where teams design 2 robots using advanced materials, and the Vex AI competition, a completely autonomous challenge using industry-level machine learning techniques. Check out the game manual or talk to your REC Foundation Regional Support Manager for all the details. Official rules and game information for Vrc Robotics competition Tipping Point can be found at roboticseducation.org or vrcrobotics.com. To register a team, find events near you, or ask a question on the official Q&A, please visit robotevents.com. Best of luck and have a great 2021-2022 season.
Welcome back. The VRC tipping point field consists of the following elements. The rim is small scoring object. There are 72 rims, 12 preloads, 6 per lines, 18 match load, line per lines, and 42 on the field at the beginning of a match. The mobile goal is large scoring object, made up of a base and branches. There are 7 mobile goals. 4 alliance mobile goal, 2 red and 2 blue, 3 yellow neutral mobile goals. The platform is mounted on a double hinge that allows it to tip towards the field in either direction. There are 2 platforms, 1 red and 1 blue. We can refer to the field layout here for the initial setup of all these elements. Next is game-specific definitions. AWP line is the white tape line, 1 per alliance home zone, that start a match with 1 alliance mobile goal on it. Alliance home zone is the 2 green marked area in the second fig, 1 for each alliance, where robot begin the match and defines the location where neutral mobile goals can be scored. The alliance home zones are defined by the inner edge of the playing field walls and the designated white tape lines. The tape line is part of the alliance home zone. The alliance home zones are defined as the green phone ties themselves, not a 3D volume. The platforms are considered part of their respective alliance home zone. Neutral zone is the 1 green marked area in the third fig. It's the area which all 3 neutral mobile goals begin. The neutral zone is bounded by the inner edge of the playing field walls and the single tape line, which run the length of the field. The neutral zone is defined as the green phone time themselves, not a 3D volume. Balanced is a platform state. A platform is considered balanced if all the following criteria are met at the end of a match. First, the platform is roughly parallel to the field. Second, both flat surfaces of the platform hinge are contacting the platform base. Third, robot and scoring object contacting the platform in the alliance home zone are not also contacting any other field element. The definition of contact here is considered transitive throughout the robot and scoring object. Please note that a platform which is being contacted by an opposing alliance robot at the end of a match is automatically considered balanced, regardless of the above criteria. The platform showing the middle figure would not be considered balanced because the platform is not level and the robot is in contact with a mobile goal that is not elevated. The platform showing the right figure would not be considered balanced too, even though it is level, because a robot is in transitive contact with a mobile goal that is contacting the field parameter. Cleared is an alliance mobile goal state. An alliance mobile goal is considered cleared if, at the end of the autonomous period, it is not contacting its AWP line or the neutral zone. Elevated is a robot or mobile goal state. A robot or mobile goal is considered elevated if all the following criteria are met at the end of a match. First, the robot or mobile goal is contacting their alliance platform. Second, the platform met the definition of balanced. Third, the robot or mobile goal is not contacting any other field element, including transitive through other robot and the scoring object. For the purpose of this definition, any mobile goals that are in possession of an elevated robot are also considered elevated. The robot in the left figure would not be considered elevated because the robot is in contact with a mobile goal that is not elevated, but both the mobile goal and the robot in the right figure are considered elevated. Next is scoring. Rings scored on the high branch of a neutral mobile goal are worth 10 points each. Rings scored on any other branch of a mobile goal are worth 3 points each. The rings scored in the mobile goal base are worth 1 point each. For each mobile goal scored in an alliance home zone is worth 20 points. For the mobile goal that is elevated on a balanced platform is worth 40 points. For each robot that is elevated on a balanced platform is worth 30 points. The alliance that scored more points in the autonomous period is awarded with a 20-point bonus. That is the examples. Most of the cases are what I have just mentioned. Please note that for each mobile goal that is scored in an alliance home zone, the alliance also received a point for any rims which are scored in or on that mobile goal. The figure on the right is to explain the autonomous win point and the autonomous bonus. They are scored independently of each other. Autonomous win point is the 1 WP that is used for qualifying match ranking. Autonomous bonus is the 20 or 10-point bonus that will add to the final score at the end of a match. Next is scoring note. A rim is considered scored in a mobile goal base if it is not contacting a robot and is at least partially within the 3D vertical projection formed by the ball of the mobile goal base. A rim is considered scored on a mobile goal branch if it is not contacting a robot and part of the rim is surrounding the branch. A rim supported by the mobile goal branch but not surrounding it would still be considered scored in the mobile goal base. A mobile goal is considered scored in an alliance home zone if at the end of the match any part of the mobile goal base is contacting the alliance home zone. Rings which are scored on or in an elevated mobile goal count for point for the alliance who is elevating the mobile goal. An elevated mobile goal does not also receive point for being scored in an alliance home zone. The examples shown in the upper right figure would be worth 51 points for the red alliance, including 40 points for the elevated mobile goal, 2 points for the scored ring in the mobile goal base, and 9 points for the 3 scored ring on the mobile goal branches. The example shown in the down right figure means that alliance mobile goal only count for point when scored in the same color alliance home zone. But the rims which are scored on or in an alliance mobile goal are worth point for that color alliance, regardless of where the alliance mobile goal ends the match. I will explain how rims, mobile goals, and robots scored in the examples here. In the first figure, the neutral mobile goal is laying down and contacting the blue home zone by its branches, but the mobile goal base is not contacting the zone. In this case, the neutral mobile goal is not scored for either alliances. In the second figure, the blue mobile goal is lifted by the robot, and the mobile goal is not contacting the blue home zone, so the blue mobile goal is not scored for the blue alliance. The cases in the third figure is complicated. There are 2 mobile goals in neutral zone, 5 mobile goals and 1 blue robot in the blue home zone. The platform is balanced. Let's see them one by one. Please note that the blue number means it's scored for blue alliance, and red number scored for red alliance. This neutral mobile goal is elevated on the blue platform, so it was 40 points for the blue alliance. The rims in the mobile goal base is worth 1 point. The rims that surrounding the branch is worth 3 points, and the other rim that is supported by the branch is worth 1 point. The red mobile goal worth 0 point because it's in the blue home zone, but the rim in its base is worth 1 point for the red alliance. The blue robot is elevated on the blue platform and worth 30 points for blue alliance. The blue mobile goal is elevated on the blue platform, so it worth 40 points for blue alliance, The rim in the mobile goal base and not contacting by the robot was 1 point. The other rim is contacting by the robot was 0 point. This blue mobile goal is in the blue home zone and was 20 point for Blue Alliance. The rim in the mobile goal base was 1 point. This neutral mobile goal is worth 20 points because it's in the Blue Alliance home zone. The rims that surrounding the high branch is worth 10 points. And the other rim that is supported by the high branch is worth 1 point. The rim that surrounding the low branch is worth 3 points. And the rim in the mobile goal base is worth 1 point. For neutral zone, this red mobile goal is worth 0 point, but the two rims in its base is worth 1 point each for Red Alliance. And this neutral mobile goal and the rims on or in it, they are all not scored for either alliances. Next are important rules. First, safety rules. S1 and S3 is reminding us safety first for wax competition. Then, general game rules. G1, treat everyone with respect. All teams are expected to conduct themselves in a respectful and professional manner while competing in Wax Robotics event. Teams, coaches, parents, and event staffs should treat each other with respect. G2, VRC is a student-centered program. Some amount of adult teaching and guidance is expected and encouraged, but an adult may never work on a robot without a student on that team being present and actively participating. G3, use common sense. When applying the rules in this manual, common sense always taken into consideration. Abnormal behavior is unacceptable. G4, robot begin the match in a starting volume. At the beginning of a match, each robot must be smaller than a volume of 18 inch, long, wide, and tall. G6, the robot must represent the skill level of the team. Is to explain shift team member from one team to another is normally unacceptable, except the case listed in this rule. G11, all rules still apply in the autonomous period. Teams are responsible for the action of their robot at all times, including the autonomous period. G12, don't destroy other robot, but be prepared to encounter defense. VRC Tipping Point is intended to be an interactive and offensive game. Some incidental tipping, entanglement, and damage may occur as a part of the normal gameplay without violation, but strategies aimed solely at the mentioned interaction of opposing robot are not allowed. Let's see the videos here. The interaction in the first video should all be penalized.
12. A robot must intentionally or egregiously tip over an opposing robot, intentionally or egregiously grab or hook an opposing robot, or intentionally or egregiously damage an opposing robot.
Then the next one should be reviewed case by case.
A team who backs away should not be penalized for tipping, while the one who continues to push should be penalized.
G14, you can't force an opponent into a penalty. Intentional strategies that cause an opponent to violate a rule are not allowed, and will not result in an infraction on the opposing alliance. G15, no trapping for more than 5 seconds. The following video shows how G14 and G15 is applied. We can see that the red robot is trapping the blue robot at the beginning, so the referee starts to apply G15 and count second on the red one. At this moment, another blue robot blocked the red one, so G14 is applied, and the referee stops, count second to the red one. Then start to count second to the other blue robot by applying G50 again. Next is specific game rules. SG1. Prior to the start of each match, the robot must be A. Contacting at least one of the graveful field tiles directly in front of the Alliance station. B. Not contacting any other graveful field tiles. C. Not contacting any scoring object other than the preloads. D. Not contacting another robot. E. Not contacting the platform. F. Contacting no more than 3 preloads, and no preload may be contacting more than 1 robot. All preload must be fully within the field perimeter, and all preload must not be in any position that would be considered scored if the robot were not present. And at last, if a team does not wish to use their free preload at the start of the match, they may be used it as match load rims at any time during the match. SG2. Robot expansion is limited once the match begins. Once the match begins, robot may expand, but no horizontal dimension can exceed 36 inch at any point during the match. This is intended to be a linear horizontal point-to-point limit measured across an expanded robot. It is not a 3D volume and is not rotated with the robot. There is no limitation for vertical dimension during a match. SG3. Platforms are safe during the endgame. During the last 30 seconds, robot may not contact the opposing alliance platform. For the purpose of this rule, contacting is considered transitive through other robot and the scoring object. For example, contacting an opposing robot who is contacting their own platform would be considered a violation of this rule. SG4. Stay out of the opponent's home zone during autonomous. During the autonomous period, robot may not contact the foe tiles, mobile goals, robot, or platform which is in the opposing alliance home zone. Violation of this rule will result in the autonomous bonus being awarded to the opposing alliance. The opposing alliance will also receive an autonomous win point, regardless of whether they have completed the autonomous win point tasks. SG5. Enter the neutral zone during autonomous at your own risk. Any robot who engages with the neutral zone during the autonomous period should be aware that opponent robot may also choose to do the same. The overarching intent of SG5 is for the most of these interactions to result in no rule violations for either alliance, but to provide head referees with the leeway to still make a judgment call, if needed. When a team has chosen to exploit this rule beyond this intent. SG6. Rims on the Alliance mobile goal are safe. Strategies intended to directly or indirectly remove rims which are scored on or in an opposing Alliance mobile goal are prohibited. SG7. Holding of mobile goals is limited. Robot may not hold more than 1 mobile goal at once. SG8. Each alliance may introduce their match load rims at any point during the match. The yellow marked area in the figure can be used for place match load rims. There is no requirement for alliance to introduce their match load rims if they do not wish to do so. SG9. Keep scoring object in the field. Scoring object that leave the field during the match play, intentionally or unintentionally, will be returned to the field at the location nearest to the point at which they exit. Please note that during the last 30 seconds of the match, any scoring object that leave the field will not be returned. SG10. Use scoring object to play the game. Scoring objects may not be used to accomplish actions that would be otherwise illegal if they were attempted by robot mechanism. Next are the key inspection rules. R1. 1 robot per team. R2. Robot must be a representation of the skill level of the team. This is also mentioned in the general rules, G6. R3. Robot must pass inspection before match start. R4. Robot must be safe. R5. Robot must fit in a sizing box according to G4 and SG2. R6. Robots are built from the V5 system. The old Cortex system is not allowed. Start from this season. R18. Robot use one control system. Robot may use a V5 robot brain, up to 8 V5 smart motors, and a legal VRC pneumatic system. R21. No modifications to electronic component are allowed. R27. Use the competition template for programming. System match include both autonomous period and drive-controlled period. Team must use a provided competition template or functional equivalent to accomplish this and make sure the match plays smoothly. Now we go to Robot Skills Challenge rules. In this challenge, teams will compete in 60-second long matches in an effort to score as many points as possible. These matches consist of driving skills matches, which will be entirely driver-controlled, and programming skills matches, which will be autonomous with limited human interaction. Teams will be ranked based on their combined score in the two types of matches. The field setup for skills is almost the same as normal VRC game. The only difference is that the position of red and blue alliance mobile goal are reversed, which means the red alliance mobile goals begin the match in the blue alliance home zone, and vice versa. RSC 1. Robot may start the robot skill match per SG1 in either alliance home zone, which all driver team member stand in the corresponding alliance station. RSC 2. In robot skill matches, team play if they are on a neutral alliance. Robot may freely manipulate alliance mobile goal, neutral mobile goal, and utilize either platform. Therefore, the alliance-specific rules, SG 3, 4, 6, 7, do not apply in robot skills matches. Next is live remote tournament. Rrt is played by 1 vs 1 format. There are 2 robots, 2 teams, 1 red and 1 blue, and 2 fields in each match. The Rrt playing field is set up exactly the same as a normal VRC tipping point match. Key definition for Rrt. The definition for Rrt autonomous win point is the same as a normal VRC game. Owned is a zone status only for Rrt. A given zone is considered owned by a team if their zone score for that zone is greater than the opposing team's zone score for that zone. If the two teams' zone score for a given zone are tied, then the zone is not considered owned by either team. Win point is the first basis of ranking teams. Teams will receive between 0 to 6 win points in each qualification match. Rrt scoring is a little bit different from normal VRC game. Rims scored on the high branch of a neutral mobile goal are worth 10 points each. Rims scored on any other branch of mobile goal are worth 3 points each. Rims in the mobile goal base are worth 0 points. Each mobile goal and match in either alliance home zone is worth 30 points. Each mobile goal and match in neutral zone is worth 10 points. Each mobile goal that is elevated on a balanced platform is worth 40 points. Each robot that is elevated on a balanced platform is worth 30 points. The team that wins autonomous bonus is awarded with 20 points. Here are several notes for Rrt scoring. 1. All mobile goals and platforms may be considered neutral. For example, Alliance mobile goals may be scored in any zone. Any robot may activate it on either color platform. 2. For the purpose of scoring, rims on mobile goal branches will be rounded down to 1 or 4 rims. For example, a mobile goal branch with 3 rims on it will only receive points for 1. 3. Rims which are scored in mobile goal bases are not worth any point. 4. Any restriction that scoring object must not be contacting a robot in order to be scored do not apply. For example, a ring which is contacting a robot but would be otherwise meet all criteria for being scored would be considered scored. Let's see the case for Rrt here. At the end of the match, the field status for Team A is shown in the left figure. Team B is shown in the right figure. The following assumptions have been made for this example match. Neither team received the autonomous win point, and the autonomous bonus was a tie. Neither team has scored any rims. All platforms are balanced at the end of the match. So, by following Rrt Scoring rule, for red home zone, Team A scored 1 red mobile goal which was 30 points, and activated 1 robot which was 30 points. So the total score for Team A is 60 points. Team B activated 1 neutral mobile goal which was 40 points. So Team A owned the red home zone. For neutral zone, Team A scored 3 mobile goals which was 10 points each. So the total score for Team A is 30 points. Team B scored 1 mobile goal which was 10 points. So Team A owned the neutral zone. For blue home zone, Team A scored 1 neutral mobile goal which was 30 points, and activated 2 mobile goals which was 40 points each. So the total score for Team A is 110 points. Team B scored 4 mobile goals which was 30 points each, and activated 1 neutral mobile goal which was 40 points. So the total score for Team B is 160 points. So Team B owned the blue home zone. So the total point for Team A is 200, for Team B is 210, and Team A received 2 WP in total for owned 2 zones, which is red home zone and neutral zone. Team B received 3 WP for owned 1 blue home zone and win the match. The following rules do not apply to live remote matches. For SG3, teams may utilize either platform during the endgame. For SG4, teams may enter the opponent alliance home zone during the autonomous period. For SG5, there are no other robots on the field with whom to interfere in the neutral zone. For SG6, once the match begins, both alliance mobile goals are considered color neutral. For SG7, there is no limit to the number of mobile goals the robot may hold. Next, I would like to introduce VRC and VRC AI competition. VRC is for college team and use the VRC tipping point field with no modifications. The differences are listed in the VRC appendix. Instead of a 2 teams alliance format, VRC match will be played 1 vs 1. Each team will use 2 robots in a match. The autonomous period at the beginning of each match will be 45 seconds, and the drive-controlled period is shortened to 75 seconds. Teams must build 2 robots at the start of the match. One must be smaller than 24 inch long, wide, and tall. The other one must be smaller than 15 inch long, wide, and tall. Teams may use any official VRC Robotics product, other than the exceptions in these rules, to build their robot. These include those from the VRC Pro, V5, IQ, and the VRC Go product lines. Fabricated parts are allowed for VxU and may be made using the process of adding, removing, casting, or molding material, or attaching material to one another. But fabricated parts must be made from raw materials. Teams may use commercially available springs and fastener on their robot. Each robot must utilize exactly one V5 robot brain microcontroller and exactly one V5 robot video connected to a V5 controller. There is no restriction on the number of V5 smart motors that robot may use, and no restriction on sensors and other additional electronics that robot may use for sensing and processing, other than the exceptions in this rule. No radio communication is allowed between robots. However, other non-radio forms of communication are permitted. Teams may utilize an unlimited amount of the listed commercial available pneumatic component. The only difference of Robot Skills Challenge for VxU is that VxU teams are permitted to use both their robot in each match, and each robot must use its 3 rims available as preload, or add them to the team's match load. In a VxU live remote match, each team plays with 2 robots. The 2 robots play on the same field at the same time. Therefore, there are 4 robots, 2 teams, and 2 fields in each match. Now we come to the last part, VxAI competition. VAIC used the VRC tipping point field with the field position code strip and opaque field panels. Teams will be playing in 1vs1 match using 2 robots per team that are fully autonomous within 2 minutes match time. Teams can 3D print and machine part. They can also use custom electronics and to use as many V5 motors as they want, just like VxU. There are several important definitions for VAIC. Isolation period is a 50-second time period, which replaces the autonomous period in VRC. Interaction period is the 1 minute and 45-second time period that follows the isolation period, which replaces the driver-controlled period in VRC. For both isolation period and interaction period, robots react only to sensor input and to command pre-programmed by student into the robot control system, so fully autonomous within the 2 minutes match time. Besides, the isolation bonus replaces the autonomous bonus. The isolation win point replaces the autonomous win point. Key rules for VAIC. Instead of a 2-team alliance format, VAIC match will be played 1vs1. Each team will use 2 robots in each match. All human interaction with robots during the match, including via vision sensor, is strictly prohibited. High school and college students are eligible for VAIC program, unless otherwise stated in this rule. All robot rules from VxU Appendix apply in VxAI competition. Robot-to-robot communication is permitted via V5 radio and other non-radio forms of communication. All other forms of RF communication are prohibited during match play. Both robots must utilize the VX GPS sensor and VxAI camera. Okay, my introduction is come to an end. For more information relevant to VX competition, please contact us by the email address here. Thank you very much.